Hello students, welcome to the discussion of current affairs from PIB. So these are the important topics which we shall be discussing today. So first important article is related to National Scheduled Caste Finance and Development Corporation. Next we would be discussing about Namaste scheme. Next, a very good and important article is about the Catch the Rain campaign. So we shall be understanding what the concept is. Then we would be discussing some details related to recently released digital threat report of 25-26. Next article is about NIDAR 2.0. So here we shall be discussing about the drone technology in India. And finally, amnesty scheme, which is launched by EPFO. So let's start our discussion. First article is related to the credit-based schemes which are benefiting the community of scheduled caste in India. So here the context is that based on the independent evaluation study, it was found that because of the concessional credit schemes which are being provided to the scheduled caste in India, because of that, the entrepreneurship ability, self-employment as well as socio-economic conditions have improved a lot. So if we talk about the prelims based point, so the study per se is not important. You don't need to remember the percentage, that what percentage of condition have been improved. You have to focus main on this body. So first of all, we shall be discussing about this body. And this body is National Scheduled Caste Finance and Development Corporation, that is NSFDC. So first of all, please remember about this body that before 1989, this body was managing the financial related affairs of scheduled caste as well as scheduled tribes. But after 1989, it focused mainly on the empowerment of scheduled caste. So you can remember in this way, because 1989 was also the year when National Commission of Scheduled Caste as well as National Commission of Scheduled Tribes were bifurcated. So you can remember in this way that before 1989, this body used to regulate the financial affairs of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. After 2001, so after 2001, it solely worked for the empowerment of scheduled caste. Now, next important thing which you must remember is that this is a fully government of India owned body. That means it is a central public sector enterprise or a PSU. This you have to remember. And this works as a company under Companies Act 2013 to Company Act 2013. And what will be the ministry? So ministry will be the Social Justice and Empowerment. So please don't write the ministry as Ministry of Finance, because it is focusing on the financial related affairs of scheduled caste. So please remember under which ministry it will work. So it will work under Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Yes. Next thing, we shall be discussing some of the functions of this body. So first function will be, it provides financial assistance for the income generating schemes for the targeted groups. Important thing here you must know is that the financial assistance which is being provided to the target group, so it is not provided direct. So for example, this is the, so for example, the agency we are talking about is NSFDC. So for example, NSFDC will not give the money directly to the beneficiaries. NSFDC first of all will give the money to state channelizing agencies. Now these agencies will deal directly with the people of scheduled caste. So this you have to remember. Next thing is, this body also supplies fund for the economic empowerment of scheduled caste. So the families who are having the annual income of up to 3 lakhs, so this body will be providing some financial support also, so that you can start your own business, all these things. You have to remember this. Next important thing is how this body is governed. So this body is governed through a board of directors. But who all will be in those board of directors? There will be representation from central government. Apart from that, there will be representation from state, like the State Scheduled Caste Development Corporation. Some of the financial institutions will be there, and some of the non-official scheduled caste members will also be there. So this you have to remember, that what are the functions and who all will be included in the board of directors. Now quickly I will be discussing key findings of the study. So these are not important for prelims, but for mains you can note. So here all these figures I have rounded off, because in PIB exact percentage is given. I have rounded off so that you can use it in your mains. So basically, as we discussed, that a study was conducted. So this study covered around 5,400 beneficiaries of scheduled caste. Now what were the findings? So around 93% of the people, around 93% of these 5,400 beneficiaries, they used the loan for the intended purpose. See, when you are getting the loan, when you are taking the loan, you have to justify the purpose, that for what purpose I am taking. But all the people don't use that loan for that purpose only. So this is good thing, that for the intended purpose only you are using the loan. Next thing is, because of the financial assistance provided by this body, 74% people became self-employed. So this is also a good thing. Next thing is, social status improvement was seen in more than 80% of the people. This is also a big development in India. And next thing is, around 96% of the women homemakers became self-employed because of the financial assistance which was received. So actually this is very good thing and very good development for India. Now, next article is about third Namaste Day in India. So here, third Namaste Day was celebrated on 14th of July in Kolkata. So here, the details of this day is not important. What is important about this day is you have to focus on the Namaste scheme. So here, what is the full form of this scheme? Full form is National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem Scheme. So we shall be discussing some of the prelims related points about this scheme. The first important thing is that which ministry has launched this scheme, who have launched this scheme. So this is a joint initiative of Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment first and Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. So this is joint initiative of two ministries, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Now earlier, to deal with the social justice issues of manual scavengers, there used to be a body that was self-employment scheme for the rehabilitation of manual scavengers. There used to be a scheme. Instead of Namaste scheme, there used to be SRMS scheme, but we dissolved that scheme and hence we launched in 2022 Namaste scheme. Now you have to note here is that Namaste scheme is a central sector scheme. That means 100% assistance is provided by the center and states will be there only for the implementation. Now, quickly let's discuss about the objective. So, its objective will be to eliminate or to a large extent reduce the manual engagement of sanitation workers. That means if you are you don't need to put your hands in the septic tanks, you don't need to do anything manually, you don't need to carry the dirt manually. You can have some kind of machines, you can have some kind of robots, or at least you can have some kind of safety kits. So this is the main objective, that you have to reduce the involvement of humans in these hazardous kind of tasks. Now, this scheme will be implemented by a body, and that body is National Safai Karmachari Finance and Development Corporation. Now, you have to tell me in the comment section that what is the legal status of this body, whether this is a statutory body or it is non-statutory body or it is constitutional body. This you have to tell me in the comment section. Now, what will be the duration of this scheme? So, this scheme was intended for 3 years, from 2023-24 to 2025-26. And obviously, you know the target groups. Target groups will be sewer as well as septic tank sanitation workers in the urban areas. That's why it involves two ministries, Ministry of Urban Affairs as well as Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Yes, let's quickly discuss the components of the scheme. So what are the components? First will be the profiling of sewer and septic tank workers. See, if you want to launch any scheme or if you want to start any initiative for these workers, first of all, you must have a basic idea about number of these workers, about social status of these workers. So because of that, first of all, you will be creating a national database for these workers, for sewer and septic tank workers. And all these workers will be given a separate Namaste ID. Next thing is about the health insurance. So, in order to provide health benefit, all these workers will be covered under Ayushman Bharat scheme, which is a health insurance scheme in India. Next thing is about the safety measures. So, all these workers will be receiving the personal protective equipment safety kits so that they don't have to do everything manually. Next thing is they would be provided the occupational safety. That means how to operate the machines or robots or how to use these safety kits, all these things. Next thing will be the financial incentive. So see, for financial incentive, capital subsidy will be provided for up to 5 lakhs. So for example, you are one of the sievering workers, and you were doing everything manually. Now you decided that you could have some kind of vehicle or equipment. You decided to purchase that equipment. So at max, government can provide you the benefit of 5 lakh rupees. So if you are purchasing anything of 5 lakh rupees, so you don't have to pay anything. Government will pay all the 5 lakh rupees. Now using that machine or equipment, you can start your own business, or you can give those things on rent. So in this way, it will ensure the entrepreneurship also. So these are some of the components of the Namaste scheme. Now, next important article is about the Catch the Rain campaign. So here the context is the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs is accelerating the Catch the Rain campaign through the Amrut 2.0 scheme. So here you must have the basic idea about Amrut scheme as well as Catch the Rain campaign. So first of all, we will be discussing the Catch the Rain campaign. What is Catch the Rain campaign? So see, this campaign was launched by the Ministry of Jal Shakti, and the theme of this campaign is catch the rain where it falls, when it falls. So in a way, it is promoting the decentralized rainwater harvesting in India. So what it is saying, where it falls, when it falls. So wherever the rain is falling, on that place only you make some kind of storage and you harvest rainwater there. So you don't have to carry the complete water to any centralized storage tank. Wherever the rain is falling, you should store the rainwater so that there is no scarcity of water. So this is the main objective or main purpose of Catch the Rain campaign. So here it would promote rainwater harvesting, it would promote groundwater recharge, water conservation, etc. See here, if we talk about this Catch the Rain campaign, the very good example we can take about the Hyderabad city. How Hyderabad city? See, as we already know that in Hyderabad, in various areas, you have problem of water scarcity. But if even for one day it rains heavily in Hyderabad, the complete city is flooded. So can you see the dichotomy that on one place we have the water scarcity situation, and on other hand we have the flood situation. So now what can be done if the people in Hyderabad use this concept of Catch the Rain campaign, use this concept of water harvesting? So first thing, flood will not happen because you would be harvesting then that rainwater, and second thing, water scarcity will also not happen. So this is the benefit, how any city can benefit with this Catch the Rain campaign. Now, in context, we discussed that the objectives of Amrut 2.0 are carried forward through Catch the Rain campaign. So you must have the basic idea of Amrut 2.0 also. So its full form is Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation. So basically, the main objective of Amrut mission is to create the self-sustaining cities. So those cities, all the cities in India must be self-sufficient in themselves. And very important component for self-sufficiency is the water sufficiency. So this comes under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and these are some of the objectives. For example, universal water supply, right. Then sewerage septage management, water body rejuvenation, urban water security, etc., etc. So here these are important components to make any city as self-sufficient. Now, let's quickly discuss some of the key components of Amrut mission. First key component is Jal Shakti Abhiyan Jan Bhagidari. That means it must involve the participation of people. See, one thing is government can impose anything on people. Second thing is people themselves can take the initiative and can participate in the government initiative. So this in second thing, there are more chances for any initiative of the government to be successful. Next thing is shallow aquifer management. Shallow aquifer management means, see, for example, this is your concrete road, these are the buildings, and since there is no passage for water to go inside the ground, so because of that, this city is flooded. Now, what you will do, you can make a shallow aquifer, you can make a shallow kind of well near this road so that this entire water goes inside the ground. So in this way, what is happening? Groundwater recharge is happening, you are saving the water. Next thing is water body rejuvenation. That means you have to rejuvenate the lakes, ponds, wetlands, etc. Because generally we see in the cities that if the constructors don't have the land to build the buildings and all, what they do, they just put a lot of sand in the wetlands and ponds, they just level that area and they start building on that. So we don't have to do this. We have to rejuvenate all these things because these things act kind of buffer during the flood situations. Also, these things act as a kind of water purifiers. That's why we need to rejuvenate our water bodies. Now, next topic is related to the Digital Threat Report 2025-26, which is released by the Ministry of Electronics in India. So, see, the details of this report is not important for the prelims. Just we shall be discussing some of the are not important for the mains. We shall be focusing mainly on the prelims oriented points. So, here the context is second digital threat report was released for the BFSI sector. That means banking, financial services, as well as insurance sector. Now, who prepared this report? So, see, it was released by Ministry of Electronics, and it was prepared by mainly two agencies, that was CERT-IN as well as CSIRT Fin. Yes, so quickly, first of all, discuss the findings in brief. Briefly, we shall be discussing. First finding is AI symmetry is emerging in India as well as other countries. AI symmetry means the speed with which the cyber attackers are attacking on our system. That speed is very high, but our defensive mechanism is very slow. So attack is coming with very high speed, but we are responding in very slow manner. And why all these things are happening? Because AI is making them very skillful. Next thing is the shrinking threat cycle. That means, see, maybe on day one, you realize that some kind of cyber threat is emerging. And maybe on day 6, you realized that everything is gone from your system. But now, because of this AI, this cycle is being reducing. That means maybe on day one, you realize that something is coming. On day 2, only everything is gone from your system. That's why this cyber threat cycle is reducing. Next thing, report discusses some of the common cyber threats, especially in developing countries. First is the social engineering. That means a person is impersonating as a police officer or CBI officer and threatening you to transfer the money, or threatening you to share the credentials, for example, OTP. Or next kind of cyber attack, which is very common, is the supply chain attack. So, for example, a fraudster attack on the IT infrastructure of your ports. So, a container which has to go at destination A, that container may be going for destination B, or that container is completely lost. So, all these kind of cyber threats are emerging more and more. Now, since we discussed that the report was prepared by CERT-IN, so quickly let's discuss about CERT-IN, that is Indian Computer Emergency Response Team. So, under which ministry it would be coming? So, it would be coming under Ministry of Electronics Information Technology. Now, what is the objective of this ministry? So, this is the nodal agency to respond to the cyber security incidents. So, see, for example, you became the victim of cyber attack. Now you will report that attack has been happened on my system. Now this is the nodal agency which will respond, which will take initiatives, or which will take the step to protect you, or so that other kind of attacks cannot happen. Now, which act has given this power to CERT-IN? So, this act is the Information Technology Act of 2008. So, what will be the functions in detail? This type of agency will collect and analyze the cyber incident information, right? It will respond to the cyber threats. It will what you can say, it will collect the intelligence so that it can take the precautionary measures so that all these kind of cyber attacks may not happen in future. Now, next topic is the CSIRT Fin, Computer Security Incident Response Team, that is finance. So now we discussed about CERT-IN, right? So CERT-IN is the nodal agency for all kind of cyber attacks in India. Now, especially for the financial sector, we have a dedicated body, and that is Computer Security Incident Response Team Finance. So its main role is to deal with the financial related cyber attacks in the financial related attacks in this sector. So it would be covering banking, insurance, etc., etc. Now, next article is about NIDAR 2.0. So recently, Ministry of Electronics and Drone Federation India have launched NIDAR 2.0. So let's discuss what NIDAR is. So see, Ministry have launched the second edition of NIDAR. NIDAR is National Innovation Challenge for Drone Application and Research. So here basically NIDAR focuses on it's kind of National Innovation Challenge, and the main objective of this challenge is to upskill the youth in India so that they are very well aware about the drone technologies in India. And this challenge is carried forward under the SWAYAN initiative. So quickly, first of all, let's discuss about what is Swayan initiative. The main objective of Swayan initiative is to develop the skills of human resources in India so that they are very well aware, so that they are very well skilled related to the drone and allied technologies in India. That means the human resource in India must have a very good idea how to operate these drones, how to use the indigenous technologies. When this initiative was launched, it was launched in 2022, and ministry involved is Ministry of Electronics. So objectives: to develop the skilled manpower in drone technologies, to promote the indigenous drone technologies. So it's not like we are using the chip from foreign countries, we are importing the chips and we would keep on doing this. Our main focus will be, you must learn how to operate the drone. Next, you must learn how to create your own drone, how to create your own chips. Yes. So now let's discuss about this NIDAR 2.0 challenge. So in context, we discussed that this is a kind of challenge which will be promoting the indigenous drone technologies and scaling the manpower in drone technology. So the theme of NIDAR 2.0 is the building drones brain using India-made chips. So see, as this is second version of NIDAR. So if we talk about the first version of NIDAR, so its main purpose was to skill the manpower in drone technology so that people know how to fly the drones. But under NIDAR 2.0, we are also focusing on designing our own chips. So that chip is also our own, technology is also our own, and then we will learn how to fly the drone. Now, since we are discussing about the indigenous chip making process, so here Vega processor is very important. Vega processor can be asked in prelims. So what is Vega processor? Vega processor is India's indigenous microprocessor family. So this microprocessor family India has created on its own. It was developed by CDAC. And this microprocessor family is based on RISC-V architecture. So what is this RISC-V architecture? See, this is a open standard instruction set architecture. See, if you want to create any chip or if you want to create any software, so for all these things, you will be needing some kind of coding architecture, right? So see, mainly what is happening, no, that if any startup wants to create any software or chip, so that company have to buy that architecture from any other large corporate, or either that startup would be giving royalty or that startup have to take the license if you want that kind of architecture. But RISC-V architecture is a kind of open standard architecture. So any startup can use that architecture, and that startup can make the chip or software. They don't have to give any royalty or they don't have to give any of the license fees. Next article is about the amnesty scheme, and this scheme was launched by EPFO in India. So see, here, what is the context? Recently, EPFO has launched one-time amnesty scheme, and what is the purpose? Its purpose is to regularize the status of exempted provident fund trust that were recognized under the Income Tax Act. So see, first of all, let's understand the complete thing, what is happening here. See, please consider two things. So here, A is one company which is depositing the entire provident fund with the EPFO, that is Employee Provident Fund Organization. And on the other hand, we have company B that is not depositing the PF with EPFO, rather than B has its own trust. B has its own provident fund trust, and the complete PF of all the employees, contribution of employer and employee, goes to this trust. So these are two kind of companies which are existing in India. Now, the rule in India is, if any company is maintaining its own trust, so the company which is depositing with EPFO, no problem. But if any company is maintaining its own trust, then that company must be exempted under Employee Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act of 1952. So if you want to exist in India, if you want to run a trust of PF, then you must receive certain kind of exemptions under this Employee Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act. But the problem in India is many companies are still not exempted under this EPF Act. Only those companies are recognized by the only those companies are recognized by Income Tax Act. but then also these companies are existing in India. So that's why government have brought this amnesty scheme, so that government can legalize all these things. Because see, if a company is recognized by IT Act, but that company is not exempted by EPF Act, then that country is lying in the gray area, right? Anyone can file the case against that company. That's why now government has brought this amnesty scheme. And what will happen now? Under this amnesty scheme, all those companies which are lying in the gray area, which are recognized by the IT Act but not exempted under EPF Act, now all those companies will become legal, or everything will be legalized. Because what happened after 2026, now the companies have to be recognized by IT Act and they must receive the exemption under EPF Act. Then only you can run your trust. So because of that, government has brought this amnesty scheme, so that there will be opportunity for the exemption and it will prevent some kind of penalties. So now let's discuss what are the provisions of this scheme. The first provision of this scheme is the retrospective regularization. That means at present, yes, at present, before this amnesty scheme, if you are not exempted by EPF Act, that means you lie in the gray area. You may be something, you can do something illegal. But now under this scheme, retrospective regularization happens. That means everything will be regularized the day from when you started this trust. So that means everything from the day when you started this trust, everything now will become legal. Second thing is waiver from certain conditions. Earlier, there were certain conditions for any employee, that if you want to have your own trust, there must be some minimum employee requirement, there must be some corpus requirement. But now employees have been waived off from these kind of conditions. Next thing is the legal relief. That means because of being in this gray area, because of that, many kind of dues and damages must be there. Many kind of proceedings must be pending against you. So under this scheme, government have given the complete legal relief to all the employees. But there is a condition. What is the condition? The employee's interest must be protected. Because if employee's interest is not protected, government will not include that company under the amnesty scheme. Yes. And next and last requirement is your company must undergo a audit. Audit, that means CA audit. So in order to ensure that the employee's interest is protected. So these are the basic features of this scheme. Now a practice question for you. Question says, with reference to exempted establishment under Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act, consider the following statements. So please read these three statements and try to answer this question in the comment section. So that's all from my side for today. Thank you and have a nice day.